Okay, we had this video and we froze this frame. What does it mean when we freeze frame something? The video becomes a still picture and doesn't move. Now draw a mask around it. Instead of designing the shape, we make a mask around it. Like this. In order to use the pen puppet only on this point, first use pen puppet here to this null. Then go to Motion Tools, choose Pin Plus and unlock the layer. Add these points. We want to recreate its movements from the video. Duplicate it and move it under. Double click on its mask. Also remove the time remapping in which we freeze framed it. This is our model. I'll make it black and white so you can see it better. I can use a tint effect for this. Hue saturation can also work with this. Add the hue saturation on top of it and reduce the saturation parameter to -100. See, now this is our model. Pre-comp it. Okay, the pin puppet is still there. Parent it to this null. Parent this one as well. This is what Pin Plus does. It gives a primary null and a puppet null. Here I use Pin Puppet first and then use Pin Plus on it. Pin Plus was used on my first pin and then I added more pins. These two pins were added afterwards. Okay, let's get to animating. It's a simple movement. In 10 frames, we make this part straight. Then we use Excite on it. When the can is separated, it moves down and then up. Imagine that the can has done its work and wants to make a delayed move here.
Solutions help many businesses.
Do you see the movement here? That up and down movement.
These solutions help many businesses.
This is a rational reaction for stiff objects that are released after being under some tension. Oh, by the way, did you make this white jumping line for your homework? The key to a professional result is attention to details. First, you need to see the details and then you must try to recreate them. There is also another line under it. You can do that easily using offset. Pay attention to the scene's transition. We can try to move the camera for it. but the original animator used a solid for it. So we do the same. Make a new solid and color it yellow. The other solid is gray. Now show both of them. Move this layer in here. Parent the yellow layer to the gray one, and then simply animate one of them. Like after 50 frames, the gray layer moves to this position. And of course, don't forget about the easings.
Help many businesses, but your business is unique, and so are help many businesses, but your business is.
We must try our best to match the movement of both solids. The best way we can do this is to parent one to the other, otherwise when you use easings, the animation could be ruined. If you want to make the animation play faster, simply get these keyframes more close, like 40 frames instead of 50. Also, if you use motion blur, it will look more realistic. But since motion blur blurs the picture, here we can see a bit of our lower layers. To fix it, increase its size. One of the things that is widely used is on this flag. It's actually rather simple. First, draw the flag. Remove its fill. Thicken the stroke. Round its caps. Next, draw the remaining parts. Now match the shapes. Add a fill color. Solo the layer now. Here we just add bend effect to it. I use CC Bend It. This effect has 2 points, start and end. Start on bottom, end on top. Now all left is to animate this bend effect. There is some snow over it. One of the best ways to make a cloud or sometimes a snow is to put some circles next to each other. Now animate the flag. We have a problem here. We want this flag to wobble after using bend. How do we do it? This number is used to bend the flag to its final point. Doing it by hand is tiring, so as a motion graphist, you should try to find a more efficient solution to it. We can't use excite, because excite only works on transform parameters. But we can use pin puppet. It has X and Y parameters. Add a pin to it. Now, if you open the puppet, in the Mesh under Deform tab, you can see the X and Y values. But on Bend, we don't have any X or Y's. We only have one number controlling the effect. So, how do we use Excite on this? That's right, we use a null. Add a null here. 0 its X position. Then parent the Bend effect to the X position of this null. Now we can animate the null to use the bend effect. For example, it's fully bended here. If you want this trick to work, you should parent the bend effect to one of the positions on the null, and not the null itself. Move forward and then reduce the 150 to 0. Now add Excite. Let's check the results. Very good. This technique has many uses. For example, look at this one. These leaves are shape layers that are animated frame by frame. You can use this effect when trying to recreate the wind effect too.
دان یا کیسه با است عمانه با اینتر با شود سه بایستی کام اطراف نه انتهایی پوسیده اگر نهال دارای محل پیوند است محل رشد پیوند باید هنگام
The animation of this sapling is entirely made with bend, all in one composition. Bend is a very convenient tool to work with, and it almost works with everything. Okay, here is the coin we have. Very well, not bad at all. cut all of this and paste it here. Delete this. Also delete this text layer. Using the Transform tab, scale down the letter E. Put it in the right place. The letter is done. Now for this line. Reduce its thickness. I think it's a bit too thick. You can use a mask on your shape. This is the shape mode and this one is your mask mode. When you made your shape, first move its layer like this. Then you can start using the mask. Draw the mask like this. Now, in order to prevent it from masking the whole thing, first duplicate the layer and in the Contents tab, remove these and start masking it again. Start drawing the mask. Then invert the mask layer. Position it correctly. Continue matching the shapes. Alright, let's continue. Pre-comp these two layers and go inside them. Crop the composition. Duplicate it and then add the hue saturation effect to it. Turn the saturation down to 0 and make a new solid. Then add Pastiche from Motion Boutique menu. Comp these two layers. Go inside them and move this one up. Put these layers here and then duplicate them a couple of times. Change the layer color to yellow. Duplicate them again and make them red. Then move the shapes. Duplicate the red and yellow layers again and move them like so. Now duplicate all of the coin layers and position them like this. Now let's delete the unnecessary coins. Move the main coin to the right place. I change its layer color to green. Add a keyframe and after 15 frames, move the green coin down. Good, and after 10 frames, it will move back to its original position. Add easings to these keyframes to have a slow start and end. Around 75 might be enough. I think it's too low. Increase the easing to 85. Let's check the source video now. If you want to have animation just like your source video, check the animation duration frame by frame. This one is 5 frames. This move takes 7 frames, so I move the keyframe to match it. Increase the easing. I parent all the layers to a null so I can move them all together. After the coin touches the other coins, they move too. So we need keyframes for this. Solo the source video to see if they change their position. Next, we need a camera. Turn these layers into 3D layers. Check the source video again. The camera moves back and then goes forward. Add a keyframe here. When the coins collide, it suddenly moves. The green coin moves again in this part. Here, the coin will move up. Green coin gains energy and will move again. For that, I will use this. I use this video for it. Time reverse this layer. I'll also rotate it and change its color. Move the duplicate layer in the timeline and add another duplicate and set its color to blue. Now let's check the results. This one needs more rotation. The splash and coin must be above all other layers. Use a split layer from the edit menu. Then move them up. Pre-comp all of them and call it Newton. Now we will work only with Newton comp. Trim the layers if you need to. Now let's get into Newton layer. You can delete this stuff you don't need. Newton won't recognize anything, so we have to auto-trace everything. Set the channel to alpha mode. We still don't see anything. Why is that? That's because all shapes are in 3D mode. We don't need the outside of our shapes, but why are they also included? Since we don't need them, delete the upper masks. Now select all shapes and in body properties set the type parameter to aematic and then click on play. It's stuck, so let's decrease the density to 0.5. Also, increase the aematic damping to 2, and then check it again. Increase the damping to 5. Now it's much better. I change the damping to 0.5 again. Instead, I will increase the density to 10. Select the layers and reduce the tension a bit. I will change the green coin group to group B. Then select the rest of the layers and disable their collide with B group. Select all and uncheck the AVAX. Make sure the green coin is colliding with the A group. I will change its position a little. We can reduce the friction. Set the friction of layers to 0.1. Check the source video so we can match it better. I think this part is animated by hand. Here, you need to play with the numbers and parameters so you can achieve the result you're looking for.